Hey everyone, Wander here, and welcome back to some more Pacific Drive. I think this is going to be the penultimate mission. We got one more. Let's see. So what do we want to do to prep for this? Well, my flashlight needs to get replaced at this point. And I don't know what else. Let's see if we can make a bio-lantern. No, I need a lot of swamp coral, and I do not have that. So we're just making another crude flashlight. Call it good enough. So I've got an impact hammer, but I've got a magnetic hammer. Everything else is looking good here. I'm just doing a very quick sweep of everything left. Because, yeah, we got to reach the Barricade operating station. We might want to pre-prep and bring some things. We will see. Yeah, because I've still got the fully powered car. Oh, the one question is the limb shield. Is that actually worth it? What is the limb shield's resistance? Oh, it's fine. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that. Let's see. I've got 2 big batteries in the back, so that should give me enough power storage. I'll keep the repair putty on board, I think. Oh, right, and I do have a bunch of spare batteries, plasma chargers. 1.2 kilowatts per second. Okay, so that actually should be enough to reactivate the car. One of these should be enough to completely fill the tank. Ow. Which should be fine. Anything else? Nope. Reach the Barricade operating station. Oh, I need to check the map before I go anywhere. I think it still has the previous route saved, but I'm just going to double check it anyway. So we're going here. We want to... I don't know. We probably want to take direct routes. Eerie Darkness. This is the one that I'm scared of. Swift Storm, Exhausting Explosions, Anomalous Clouds. But then we have Perpetual Stability in the next one. I think we just take the direct route. Don't do anything else. Because, yeah, I don't have enough to diagnose the quirk, I'm pretty sure. Oh, and it actually reset my hints from last time. Well, it's fine. Whatever's wrong with the car, we can manage. I'm trying to think if I've missed anything, but I think we're good. Yeah, I cleared out all of this. I always try and get everything prepped and ready to go before the next session. But sometimes you just kind of inevitably forget. Oh, there's an item over there. Oh, that might have been from bumping my head with the car door. It's okay. Part of it is the only 2 items that we need are limb magnets and... oh, interesting. That's slowly disappearing. Because the other thing I could do is actually take a little bit more time, but I don't need to. Like, the only things I need are limb magnets and Olympium fragments, and even then, I'm not sure if I need them. You know, my car is about as good as it's going to get. I could go for the better engine to go even faster. That is an option. I don't think I need it. Is the main one. I will stop and grab the stabilizers when they're in the area. Because kind of no matter what, we have uses for them. Okay. And it seems somewhat justified to grab more. There we go. And unfortunately, there is no wind, so we're not getting, like, any power from them. No, it's just those. Yeah, I think I've seen most of the anomalies in this game. I had a weird dream that I was playing more of this, because I've been playing it kind of incessantly. Aggressively, even. I've been playing a lot of Pacific Drive, but I had a weird dream that they had a new DLC that I added monsters that would actually, like, walk around and chase you if they found you. And, yeah, I was not cool with that. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the few times where it is so dark I cannot even hope to see what's going on. See if we can go the long way around. Because that's going to trap me and zap me. And we don't have any lightning rods, which, like, would be nice. Yep. This is the correct direction. We need to take a... We need to take a right to go on the dirt road. I just have to figure out exactly where that point is. I guess I could have marked... Oh, here it is. I could have marked the turnoff. Okay. It wants me to go this direction. Yeah, this is fine. And we can just continue on. It is interesting how weirdly zen and efficient this game is. Like, once you hit the point where you no longer care about looting things for the most part, it kind of is just like point A to point B, and more about just protecting yourself as much as possible. And I guess a little bit of fuel economy. You know, making sure that you're not wasting resources too much. So in this case, we're not going full speed, so we're not getting nearly enough wind power to keep my battery going. We're keeping it up slightly, but it's not as good as it could have been. And that's okay. Like, we don't need to worry about it yet. Oh, I also have the headlights on, which is not helping, and I left them on, which is not helping. Because, yeah. Oh, hold up. You know what I forgot to do? Check my tires. That's flat. At least it hasn't blown out yet. Did I only... Oh, I only brought 2 of these. I should have grabbed more. And yeah, I don't have any spare tires on me either. That is the one oversight. I'm not over-prepared in certain regards. So we might want to take a moment to scrap a couple of squires when we get the chance. Okay. So we're going here. Also dark, which is not amazing. Yeah, no tombstone will be left behind. Fuel drains faster. Yeah, I have no easy way to get there from here, though, so that wouldn't work. Corrosive waterways. Yeah, like, it feels like there's no good entryway. No matter what, we're gonna have to have our lights on. It's fine. Once again, I have the zapper. And perpetual darkness isn't a problem. It's the fog that makes things so dark. I need the lights. Okay, let's take a look at this one, because doozy. I think we just stay on the road. I don't think I'm going to stop for any... Oh, this is very dark. I don't think I'm going to... let's go here. I don't think I'm gonna stop for much. Grab some plasma, because we might need that. We have 2 cars here. Yeah, including an abandoned squire. They have off-road tires. Sometimes. And I figure scrapping at least a couple of those should let me make another off-road tire if I need to. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I've always been blasé about collecting stuff. Or having, like, spare tires and whatnot. It mattered more for the DLC where the time limit was more of an issue. Whereas here, it kind of just feels like, whatever. Okay, that should be enough regular resources. Have a door? No, that's just a random barrel. Okay. I'll keep an eye out for any other squires in the area. Yeah, I also need, like, a lot of swamp coral and some other things, but eh. Okay, so we're hanging left. Yeah, this is going to be kind of an expensive ride. Let's see. Yeah, I could stop at a couple of the little lab locations, see if they have anything. I just don't know if it matters. If we had a clear breeze, I think I'd be more willing to stop and wait. But we're not going to get any power by doing so. All right. Yeah, I think we're looking good. I'm not going quite fast enough to keep up with the drain of the... It's the headlights that are making this a bit more expensive. However, it's such a small drain that it should be fine. Oh. Yeah, it's such a small drain that it's usually not a problem. Here's the thing, we do want to stop for this. Okay, because I need a lot of swamp coral. Okay, snag that. And I think this is legitimately the biggest swamp coral reef I've seen so far. Or neon reef. I don't know if I need tree candy for much of anything anymore. That might be good enough there. Okay, snag you. Don't see anything else popping out. I do feel kind of bad for, like, over-harvesting, but this game does not have any kind of ecological stability situation. Hey, we got, like, a smidge of power. You can eat eggs, too, but I don't know. I was really hoping that with, like, the attuned stuff, I talked about this a little bit in the DLC. One of the things I really wish this game had was the ability to, like, enchant or modify parts further. Like, it would have been really cool to keep boosting the wind turbines or something. I realize this would break the semblance of the game, but, like, for me, I don't know. I like it when games are hard but give you a lot of tools to get around that difficulty, even to the point where you can break the game in half, because then I feel kind of proud of myself and satisfied. I guess more on like a intellectual creativity perspective rather than like pure skill, and also it just feels more unique. Okay, so we're exiting a stabilized area and we're going into the Badlands. Anomalous clouds, exhausting explosions, and a swift storm. However, it's 11 p.m., so yeah, we're not going to be able to see anything this whole ride. Damn. Should be fine. All I have to do is get to the other side of this zone, and we're good. We're not stopping for anything. Damn. Oh, I can have my lights off for this. It's a little dark, but I can see where stuff is. At least long enough to get me a smidge more resources. Resources, power? Hold up. I actually don't... I haven't seen that before. What is this stuff? This is not a scan target? I'm shocked. Okay, loop around that. Now I'm gonna have to go through so much hot dust. Some more swamp coral. But I think at this point I'm not gonna mess with it. I think this is one of those, just bail levels. Ooh. I should have probably hit the handbrake on that one.
Oh, you definitely need some parts. Come on over.
I'm gonna peek, just because.
You bring me scrap, I bring you the good stuff. We both walk away happy.
Lady, why do you never sell anything cool? Yes, we have like a ton of stabilizers over there.
Things always get more chaotic when you're around.
Oh good, we have a blacksmith in the area. If we're lucky, we get out of the area before it triggers. Okay, bumper's doing fine. And, yep. Second blacksmith. We're cruising at this point, though. In the dark, which is, of course, a little little dangerous. Don't do this at home, kids. Don't do this at home, water. And I don't drive much to begin with in real life. The idea of driving at night with your lights off is terrifying. Okay, so we're almost there. Yikes. I think I did actually get hit by a saw blade there. It's fine. Okay. I think that actually did a number on me. I think I flattened another tire. Let's see. Yep. Fix flat sealing kit. These just got shellacked a little bit. I think that's manageable. We got enough time. I'm going to quickly scrap the Squire. I don't know what's required for a sealing kit, and probably should look into that. Let's see, no tire there, tire here. But at least being able to make an off-road tire if I need to will make a huge difference. And we got plenty of time before the storm really starts closing in. Is a tire there? No. Alright. Hopefully we get at least a little bit of a stiff breeze in the next region. We don't even know what the next region is going to look like. It's going to be a special one. Because it has the Anomaly Barricade. I don't know what that's going to entail. Oh, yeah, we're getting close to the end of this game. I think my big issue is I've been kind of crystallized build-wise for forever. That Olympium is present in these later areas.
Give us the rundown, Francis.
What, me?
The electrical grid is your department.
You know the plan as well as I do.
So you'd rather trust me than have to speak up for yourself? Guess you're on your own, driver. Good luck.
Okay, fine. The regular anchors aren't enough to overcharge the arc device to the level we need. But there's an old Anomaly barricade we can piggyback onto. It's archaic technology, an early attempt to stop anomalies from drifting out into the wider Olympic Peninsula. It worked for some time.
Until it didn't.
But long enough to get the old wall built.
The barricade's in bad shape, but what's a little rampant voltage leakage? Not like the ghosts and goblins of the Deep Zone will mind. And if they do, more the better for Francis. Huh?
Appreciate the olive branch, Abby, but boy, do you have a lot to learn about the paranormal. I'd be happy to give you a primer after all this is over.
Ugh, hard pass. I'm far too old for that.
The car will induce a current along the barricade, in the same way you did it crossing the old wall. Every connection point needs to be induced within a limited time. Electrify the entire barricade, and we'll have all the power we need.
You heard him. Floor it, driver.
Okay.
You're near the barricade's operating station. Can you get in there and look around? We need something that'll give us the lay of the land.
Pothole. Okay. Pop into this. No, it's got a little bit of radiation, but that's about it. Yeah, what I was gonna say is, like, with the technology present in this game, I always wish they would go further. Okay, grab these and then pick this up by hand. There we go. I left my lights on. Gotta stop doing that. We might actually want to use one of the zappers here at this point. Let's see. There we go. Oh, right, because this one's not in my inventory yet. There we go. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, it just lets me recharge the whole dang setup. Let's see. I'm probably not going to need this either. It's kind of getting in my way. Okay, so I was going to go check this out as well. Keep an eye out for anything that I can scrap for those magnets. Because we still haven't actually figured out where I got them from. I swore it was in this tower. Okay, scan the map in the operations tower. The heck is the map? Oh, it's this thing.
Perfect. I'm uploading the barricade map to your ARC device. By my calculations, if you electrify all 8 posts, you'll have all the power you need.
Oppie, does that seem right?
Does it seem right to you?
I think so. Yeah, I ran the numbers a few times, and I...
Then get to it, driver.
Alright, let's see how this goes. It is interesting how this is just a redux of the prior mission. Oh, with an angry bunny. I don't think I've ever seen one that pissed off.
All right, it's working.
I can't tell if it's attached to the car, though. Is my one concern. Okay. I'll admit, though, it is a fun mission. Like, as far as things go, this is enjoyable enough. Sometimes replaying, like, old content, missions, whatever, can feel a little, repetitive, especially, you know, it's so close together. Okay.
Looking good, driver.
Oh, they're explosives. Uh-oh. Yeah, we'll have to do some repairs. I was wondering why they were Angie, and the answer is because they're little rolling bombs. Did I miss something? Oh no, we're good.
You're making good time. Keep it up.
I was looking at the map and I'd passed one of the circles and it hadn't lit up yet. And I was concerned that I'd messed up, and the answer is nope, we're good.
A few more to go.
Alright. Well, it is a good thing that I don't seem to be exiting this region. Or exiting in this region, because I don't actually have enough power and there's not enough stabilizers in the zone to do it. And it's fine. This is actually, like, weirdly more chill compared to the last time we did this. Yeah, just a couple of those bunnies that have since pieced out. I wonder if I'm just going that fast. It's a possibility.
Okay, okay.
Alright. So far so good. We're just gonna have to go straight through this. That hurt. Luckily, the car repairs as it charges, so that'll at least give us a little bit. I guess I could have hooked up the limb shield in retrospect. Because I might have actually been able to get them off of me. Unfortunately, the shortcut for that unlinked. Rather clunk the bumper a smidge. Looks like something's wrong with one of my tires. It's fine.
We're charged. Arc device readings at 4.2 gigajoules and holding steady.
Good. Then we're all set.
The arc device is ready to go. It'll hold that charge for as long as we need it.
Alright. Sealing kit. Oh, I can make another one. I'm gonna make two. This has been an issue today.
Pedal to the metal, driver.
Storm's coming.
Uh-oh. Oh, we are actually leaving here. I thought we'd be exiting the region or something, but no. Well, we are. Ooh, boy. Driving down the side of a mountain is always real spooky. Doing it in the dark, extra spooky. Here's the thing. We're fine. Oh, that's Olympia. Hold up. ballistics. Oh, it doesn't auto-collect, which is rude. Still worth it. Okay, anything else? Oh. Random ass hand vac. Okay. There might be more. But at this point, it's go time. Things are closing in. Oh yeah, there's a bunch more. I mean, we're in an okay spot. I'm sure the radiation is going to be real bad. If it seems like I'm starting to die, I'll bail. There's the red. You can see it coming. But this is the biggest Olympian vein I've seen to date. Okay, things are obviously kind of not great for me. There's my car. Music is certainly spooky, and boy, it's hard to see anything. But that's okay. Yeah, there might have been more, but I think it's time to go. I'm so glad I have extra radiation shielding. No, I guess this might not be the penultimate video. I think we're gonna just do both in one vid, and we're going fast enough.
Nice work out there. The whale could be a lot. Take your time and gear up. No telling what that remnant's going to unleash.
Okay. Plunk these over. Grab this. Give me another hand vac. And yeah, we should make a ton of sealing kits and probably 2 spare tires. Okay, so that's like 30 Olympian fragments. Good stuff. Yeah, I could also make some puncture-proof tires. That is an option. I think I'm just going to be silly. And just have 4 spare tires on me. Plus some more sealing kits. The all-terrain tires have just been so good. Yeah, so I could make some Olympian doors. They have more impact resist, more health, and so they're just an armored door, but better. Easy enough. Okay, let's just make a bunch of these. Well, let's go back to this.
Hey,
Which
driver.
juice do I have?
I sent you something, if you don't mind taking a look.
Okay, so we could get the limb chipped engine. It's not a bad idea. Let's research the panel first. Okay, then let's take a look at this engine. And some of these might just be too expensive for the amount of resources I'm carrying around on me, and that's also okay. Yeah, I might as well maybe get the Olympian bumper, really crank up the front as much as possible. Okay, can't do anything with those. I think we're good. Okay. In pneumatube. In memoriam.
Tobias's favorite cryptid of them all. If it's not too much to ask, if you could put it on your dashboard so Tobias can come along for the ride for wherever you're going. But don't feel obligated by any means.
What is that thing? Well, I got it. Okay. So I've got a bunch of ceiling kits, which may be overkill. I bring another magnetic hammer, but it ain't gonna matter, is the thing. Okay. This is another beepy-doop at me. Gross. Why would they write that? Okay, so limb chipped engine requires more Olympian fragments and 4 limb chips, which I can make the limb chips, but the rest is too expensive. I think we are just going to make 2 of these. Take the armored panel off. Because, yeah, I might as well have the front of the car as beefed out as I possibly can get it. I don't actually know which is more valuable, panels on the sides or the hoods. I just know the panels are surrounded by these things as well. I'll have to look at headlights for a second, see if there's any more economical options. Okay. Do we just get another panel, or do I make the bumper? I don't actually know which is more valuable. I think... I think we go bumper. Because if we look at the panel... 25 impact, 20 explosion. Yeah, I think we go for the bumper. Plus, I'm curious about what the new bumper looks like. Okay. Fancy. We have 2 insulated headlights, which are probably good. There we go. Let's see. Might as well dump these things off. Let's see. Do we make another one of these? Yeah. I'm not sure if we care, is the one issue. But that's fine. Is there anything else I need to prepare? Because no, we still have a shock rod. Turns out we don't... We really didn't need that many of them, actually. Oh. Okay, they're just a little too big. Well, I guess let's go over the entire car with a fine-tooth comb. Just to check. Usually there's like a marker if something's wrong with it. But I did replace most of this stuff recently. No, looks like we're good. Let's hit that. Get whatever's in the friendly dumpster. Not that we care deeply. And then we can just go on our final... Oh, powered by carbs. No thank. Then we can just go on our final mission, I suppose. Oh, you know what I should do? We got a couple new things. I should probably paint them up. There we go. That's the stuff. I don't think I can color those up. This absolutely looks like an ultra... I bet this is Ultros, actually. With the plants and the 3i thing. I think this is an Ultros. Yeah. That's an Ultros reference thing. It's because they're both published by Kepler. That makes sense. I was going to look at headlights real quick. So I have the reinforced headlight. So regular headlights... so crude headlights are worse, for obvious reasons. but they require less power. There's also the harmonic headlight. I know there was the one that used the sticks, too. But we don't want to do harmonic. So if I did bio headlight, that does have better light. Because I've been doing insulated to resist. I think we do. I think we bring them along. I might just leave the other ones. In the back. Or, yeah, in with all the other spare parts, just in case something goes wrong. Because we're not going to be looting much. We don't need to. Let's see. And let's err on the side of caution and make another pry bar. Because I don't need another scrapper. We got plenty of food, healing, everything is good. Flashlight barely got used. Yeah. I think we're good to go. So let's figure out this final route. Every route is valid. Here's the thing. I think we're just going to take the freaking shortest route. Fuel evaporates faster, that's not a problem. Because we're going to do highway here, and then these two. Because, yeah, I could farm for Olympium, I could max out the car, I could go get a bunch of fun relics or something. None of that really matters to me. Because ultimately it's not going to make much of a difference. It's small bonuses at best. Not to like fully deride that kind of thing, but it's one of those where like, how would I put it? I already very much know that the finish line is well within my reach without really much effort at this point. Grinding extra would just feel like I'm wasting my time when I could just as easily, you know, put that time and energy into another game. I'm plagued by this a little bit with how many good games there are out constantly. It's not exactly in the same vein, but I'm one of the jurors for the Indie Game Awards this year. It was last year as well. And looking through all of the games that are being nominated, a number of them are games that I wouldn't have played normally. But a lot of them are that I've only put like an hour or two into. And so I often struggle with the overabundance of video games on my shelves in my Steam library and, you know, on my to-do list. And it, I want to say, has become not exactly a source of madness, but, you know, these are a lot of things that I want to play and experience, possibly finish. You know, I'm tired of leaving certain games sitting on my unfinished list. So, you know, not an indie game, but I played through Final Fantasy XII. I guess it was a year ago. Over a year ago, 2 years ago now, cripes. Just over Christmas break, I just said, you know what? I'm just going to sit down, I'm going to play a ton of Final Fantasy XII, and that's just going to be the thing I do for the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to do bare minimum work during that period. And it was fun. Actually, I really liked it. Not my favorite Final Fantasy, but like a fine game, and glad to finally have it done. But I tried to start it like 3 or 4 times as a kid. And a young adult, and literally just after graduation, I was like, yeah, I'm finally going to sit down and play this. Whoop. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hey, if you cross the finish line, you cross the finish line. And like I finally did, and just the psychological satisfaction, I don't want to say relief, because it's not like it was this big drain or anything like that. It was just a thing that I had left undone for so long that it was bothering me. Oh, shit. I didn't realize this junction had battery sapping. Okay. That's good and bad. No, we don't care about that. It's battery sapping in a way that I cannot stop. If I'm going full tilt, my car will stay almost level. Wow, I'm putting these artifacts to the test. I'm so glad I brought all sorts of repair tools with me. Ah, beans. But yeah, I don't know. I guess there's no more question of, like, you know, where does the story of Final Fantasy XII go? Sitting in my head. I know it's not that important, but, you know, so many people talk about how good that game is. I, on a personal level, can't just ignore that and say, like, okay, whatever, it's not for me. Especially because it is the kind of game that I enjoy. And so, you know, Final Fantasy XII, now Pacific Drive, and a couple other things, games that I've just always wanted to see through to the end, but wasn't able to. However, the problem is, like, the longer I spend on any one singular game, the less time I potentially have for something else, and it's very much about, like, okay, which of these things... Cripes. Which of these things... is fully worth my time, and at what point do I say, okay, this is taking too long, rush for the end? I was having this problem specifically with Final Fantasy 16, where there's a lot of points in the game where it just, like, opens up and says, like, here's, like, 10 side quests, get cracking, but they're all really boring. Like, very few of them actually had good stories. Some of them were kind of charming, some of them told you about some characters in a little bit more detail, or introduced new characters for you to kind of care about. The problem is, like, I didn't. They weren't written well enough to, like, really catch my interest. They weren't challenging enough to keep my, to make me want to, like, go off and do them for the most part. And so I just hit a certain point of the game where I'm just like, screw it, I'm done. And just bailed. Yeah, I should have paid attention to that one being battery sapping. We'll be fine. I've never taken a highway over the swamp, so I don't actually know what this is going to look like. Oh yeah, it is actually swamp themed. Neat. Still not going to stop. This is all the way to the end. I think at the next region we might want to hit my battery with a chargy stick. Or alternatively, it's raining. There's a bit of a storm going on here, isn't there? It's not super hard, but that actually does give me a little bit of charge. So I can take my time here if I want to. Purple paint. Sure. Yeah, the reason why I went for the sarcophagus paint is it's not affected by standard lighting in the same way. And so I can actually... was not expecting to find an abductor out here. I'm just going to park next to this car over here. And we're going to go check out that set of trailers, just grab some things off of it. Mostly let my car charge, though I do have a zappy stick. So I don't know. Oh. But I should clear out my inventory before I do this. But yeah, so for Final Fantasy 16, yeah, I just hit a certain point on it where I was just like, as much as I'm enjoying some of the things on this game, I just need to be done with it. Otherwise, I'm never going to finish it. Because if I take a long break from a game, there's a very real possibility I'm going to take like a multi-year break or even a decade-long break and then not come back. And then that is a problem. I've never seen this before. Well, that ain't coming back. Interesting. Is water underneath the map? Because, yeah, that was floating away. Yep. Alright. Nothing left in here. Is that the only trailer? Oh, that was kind of not much. Okay. I was gonna say with any of these things. I don't know. Just the idea of, like, I'm hitting that point with Pacific Drive where I've kind of seen and done everything. There isn't more to work for. I think part of it is I wish they'd gone more weird science. And even SCP with some of the stuff. In the car. Huh. Why did it do that? I have no idea. Just because it feels like there's all these cool, you know, SCP anomalies all over the place for me to interact with and, like, I don't want to say contend with exactly. Yeah, we didn't charge much during that. It's fine. But they all have, like, cool and wild powers and whatnot, and my car is just a car with slightly better resistance. I know there were some other things like the jump jacks and the skid booster that lets you, like, side dodge things, which actually could have been cool. And maybe I should have messed with them. I think part of the problem is those took spots that I needed for gas cans and batteries. That utility items are good, but they should never compete with critical stat sticks. Yeah, no second chances. That's fine. Okay. What did I get stuck on? I have no idea. I guess I should probably have my lights on. Let me just stop the car here for a second. I don't know what the wind speed is. How's this thing? Just a bit damaged. Yeah, it's always tricky when you are trying to balance things. Let's see. Because, like, balancing video games is immeasurably hard. There's whole careers focused on specifically good game design and balance, especially in the MMO space. And so, like, I totally understand the desire to be balanced and keep things fair. Keep things from, like, spiraling out of control so one player doesn't completely break the premise of the game. I feel like that's less necessary in a single-player game. And that is a hill I will... Alright, this is a Swift Storm level as well. That's a hill I will always die on. Okay. It's just a little foggy for how dark it is. Yeah, this is a whole nighttime run. Damn. We didn't see any sunlight in any of these runs today. Let's see. I don't think I'm gonna need the reactors. I think we reach the well and that's the end of this. I'll just have my lights on. It's foggy enough that I'm having trouble seeing, and there's enough cars in the way. Never did figure out if you could do anything with those, like, hanging clusters. I thought for a second when I first saw those that those were, like, housing up there, that people still live here. I think some of them do. I think Tobias and Francis do actually live in the mid-zone somehow, somewhere. A flat tire. It is a flat tire. How are we just getting so many flats today? Well, I knew this was coming. Okay, there we go. What? Oh, god damn. Looked down for a second to turn my lights on and crunch. So I was like, yeah, this is a little too foggy. Unfortunately, I wonder if there's a hotkey to turn your lights on. Because the problem with the... In real life, I can just reach up with my peripheral vision, but in this... Ooh, intense radiation. No, I think we just go for something's moving, keep an eye out, and intense radiation just does more damage. Neither of those are, like, hugely problematic for me. What was I gonna say? Oh, balance and fun factor and stat sticks and some other stuff. It's all kind of a tricky balance. And don't know where that came from. Okay, I was gonna grab this thing. Because yeah, we're just gonna charge this battery right up. But this one is full. Alright. It is so nice, effectively, just having those around as secondary jerry can situations. Oh, God. Okay. Well, this is awesome. I don't know if we're going to need any of that stuff, but I might want to get enough that I can escape if I need to. And they're literally right there. I'm curious about these something's moving anomaly.
Traveler.
Okay, we're just gonna park the car here. And we're gonna run for these two. There's one there, and then there's one... further out. I got the dang radar thing. I might as well use it. Other side of this truck. I built it and I've barely used it thus far. So, now's a good time, question mark. Balance, fun factor, some other things. I don't know. It just feels like I wish more games gave you crazy things to play with, even if you had to work for it. Because then I think I would be so much more motivated to grind or go way out of my way. Same thing with the kind of DLC relics. George. That a lot of them were very tame. Not in a way that I, like, specifically mind over much, but in a... None of these excite me to go out of my way to grab more of them. Whereas, like, I really wish it was a risk-reward where all of them are awesome, but good luck having the power for it. And so it's kind of more, do you take the risk of carrying a bunch of them with you and increasing the suspicion meter that much faster, but hey, now your car hovers when it goes over a gap, or has like a grabber arm, so you can just reach out and grab some of these things. That's actually one thing I really wish there had been a grabber arm for the car that you put onto the arc device. They could just reach out and snag a anchor without you even having to get out of the car. That would have been very fun. Okay, that's enough power. We could go for the other two, but I'm not actually sure if we need that much more corrupted energy. I've already bought pretty much everything I could possibly want. And so I'm not terribly motivated to get more. Unless it's convenient. Alright, final zone. Take all the time I need, though, which is nice, because I think I got lunch coming in a moment. And, me hungry. Okay, let's see where this drops us dialogue-wise. I did not want to try and go through the outro. Okay, good. Maybe? Hopefully it resets the conversation. Or did I interrupt it by quitting out? Let's see if it kicks in. Well, that's spooky looking. Yeah, it looks like it interrupted it. Luckily, I can just pull these things up whenever I want. Okay. Yeah, they sort these later. End of the road? Yeah. Yeah, it should be end of the road.
This is really it, huh? The end of the road. Soon we'll finally see for ourselves what caused the mass hallucination and what Tobias and Alan died for.
And whether it was all worth it.
Probably not.
These gamma readings, are they real? I can't even begin to guess what could be outputting this much radiation.
Some sort of energy reservoir, a massive fission reaction, or
A portal.
Atlantis. If this thing really leads us to Atlantis, I'm turning in my PhD.
God, if only Tobias were here to see it.
I would have liked to hear his take on all this. For once.
That thing is eerie looking. I think that's the thing I wish this had more of, is that I actually really wish that they had leaned harder into freaky stuff. Like, Act 1, normal. Act 2, freaky
All right,
stuff.
Trevor, you're almost to the threshold. Remember, Francis and I have got your back. Once you get that car to the well, we'll keep the gamma ray burst under control for as long as we can. Whatever happens, whatever state you find yourself in, the arc device will be your safety net. Use it. Get back to us, you hear me?
Ready when you are, driver.
Act 3, in my opinion, should have been this, like, all the time. I think it's fine. I don't know. I want more games to just go uncompromisingly hard all the time. Or at least, like, scale up to the point where they do.
Opening? Godspeed, driver.
Well, I was expecting something a little bit more impactful driving into that. Instead, welcome to the TV land.
Happy!
Did it work? What's the energy output? Damn it, Alan, I'm fine. Light nearly blinded me. Can you read it?
Yeah, let me see. 500 kilojoules? Happy, what is this?
The future. I call it limb waves.
Whee! I feel like I should be driving through this, but I get it.
Coffee delivery.
Alan, gosh. Is it that time already?
So, about leaving Earth. I was thinking, how about by Christmas?
Yes, maybe. I just need to solve this instability issue. I loathe to think about leaving the Olympic Peninsula like this.
There's always more to do.
I know. I'm sorry.
And I love you for it. I'm just wondering if you'll really be able to walk away from all this. It's okay if you can't.
You abandoned the world to work here beside me. Fair is fair.
Len Tech is a world-changing discovery. Your world-changing discovery. Fairness isn't even a consideration.
We agreed to have children, and I'm not having them in this hellhole.
Good, because I'd love to have 8.
Then I hope you're ready to carry at least half of those yourself.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
Creepy. And sad. It's getting a little bit more eerie as we go along. So I wonder if this is like kind of the weird echo of Alan trapped in here still. Which presumably also might mean other people that died as well? Or maybe it's just all Alan. Not sure. I guess for me, I'm always hoping for the ending of Halo 1, where you're driving as the whole thing's falling apart on you.
Tobias, the movers are here. Wait, why aren't you packed?
I ain't going.
The evacuation orders...
Evacuation orders can go to hell. We leave, and we never see the inside of these walls again. All the things we've been investigating, the ripple, the echoes from the swamp, they'll all fade away. I'm gonna stay and chase down these stories, wherever they take me.
Tobias,
Stay here. With me.
Yeah, the echo sounds different. I mean, obviously, it's just an echo. But I've definitely seen in these stories where you have kind of the echo, the, like, weird eldritch abomination that is trying to, like, learn and understand regular sentient people and ends up, like, absorbing them and taking personality traits from them. I don't know if that's going to be the case here, but I wouldn't be surprised. So who's this now?
You here to cloak?
I'm here to deliver the committee's decision. You have been found guilty of doctoring experimental data. This action is in clear violation of Artist scientific integrity. Judgment has been rendered. You may stay and work, but your clearance will be lowered to level 3.
So I'm to be a glorified flash cleaner.
Take it as a win. You could have been court-martialed instead.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have liked that much better.
What I like has no bearing on this decision. See you on Monday, Dr. Cook.
His last name was Cook. I wish we had gotten to know the characters more, like random...
Driver, do you read me?
Driver, you passed through some sort of opening. We managed to hold it steady, but the energy expulsion is growing. We don't have much longer.
If you can hear this, you need to get back now.
Yeah, proceed to the
Hey,
nearest
look,
evacuation
The
point.
gang's back together.
Tobias?
I never told you how grateful I was that you stayed behind in the zone with me. These years, best of my life. Foraging for mushrooms, slogging through swamplands, combing through hours and hours of terrible field recordings. Not a single moment wasted. Thank you. For everything.
It was all you. You made me feel capable. That anything was possible. That I wasn't some second-rate scientist. All my happiness was thanks to you. And I'm afraid of how I'll survive without you.
I'm not. You got this. You always have. Hey, Oppie, Alan sends his regards. And he wants to know why you haven't taken his advice yet.
So it sounds like the consciousnesses of the people who were killed kind of here have been somehow preserved. Probably not long term. It'd be...
Is that a gumbaroo on your dash? No, I'll be damned.
Gumbaroo. Never heard of that. Lived in Oregon for 3 years. Didn't actually look too deep into cryptids. I think if I ever go back, I will do the whole cryptid tourism thing.
Until next time.
Oh, that was fast.
Tobias!
Driver, if you can hear this, we can't keep the well stable for much longer. Wherever you are, come back.
I do find this kind of, I don't want to say underwhelming, but I wish there was more, like, explanation as to what the heck this is. It's just televisions. Like, it's neat, but I think for me, I always look for the, like, full explanation of the what and the why. Oh, interesting. It's a bunch of tourists hanging out back here. No, these are different. Shocked tourists. Did I never scan them because I thought they were just regular tourists? Has this been draining my battery this entire time? Yeah, but it gave me plenty. That would be extremely funny if I got here and my whole car was drained to nothing. Oh, interesting. It's saying there's a house at the end of the road.
Just
Or
a
maybe
little
I'm...
longer. Hold steady, Francis. Keep those limb faces aligned. Not even a 0.001 deviation, you get me?
I'm trying.
Well, I do like the final song here. This is what I had been hoping for this entire time, frankly. Nice part is, I don't really need to care about anything. We're not going to run out of fuel here. And I
The
want
anchor
to...
field is wobbling. Oppie, anything we can do to stabilize things on your side?
I'm punching it as hard as I can.
I wouldn't say that the car is invincible or even terribly unstoppable here, but pretty hard to beat at this point. Okay,
Francis,
I have no
hold tight.
way of
I
tilting
can't.
this.
The phase, it's desyncing.
Driver, punch it. Go.
Well, there's only so much I can do when I'm upside down. Okay. We are fine. It is funny how everything kind of pauses while my car is upside down. Yeah, I wish this segment had been longer. Because that was fun for what little it was. I was just hoping we would have had, like, oh, how cool would it have been if we were driving through, like, some MC Escher horror.
You made it back, driver. All in one piece, it looks like.
And no sign of the Remnant's energy signature anywhere in that car.
You're free.
But the car's maintained its link to you. Fascinating. We'll never know how far the Remnant's obsessions wormed into your head, but you should be safe from it getting any worse. In theory.
Oppie, I'm sorry. You didn't get to talk to Alan again.
We managed to pull off the near impossible. And the first thing you do is apologize?
Sorry.
Don't worry, it was Tobias's fault. He hogged the frequency all for himself yet again.
You hurt him too.
I did. That means I didn't imagine that last conversation with Alan. And you know what else?
What?
That your theory was right. And Tobias called it. All that bluster, and he ended up showing us scientists a thing or two. Those moments we heard, they were all from the past. Being inside that well somehow allowed the Remnant to access those imprints and replay them. But Tobias's voice wasn't from the past, it was from somewhere else entirely.
But where? And how?
No clue. Do me a favor. Once you figure it out, don't bother telling me. I'm leaving the zone.
I'm sorry, what?
Alan came to tell me goodbye, and that I was forgiven 37 years ago. I didn't listen. So now, finally, I'm going to take his advice. I should have left the zone a long time ago.
But if we solve this, maybe there's a way to speak to him again.
I heard what I needed to hear. It only took me 37 years to listen. Anyway, all that sounds like a young scientist game. It's not for me anymore. Francis, you decide what to do from here. You can carry the torch and continue the research, or get out of this cursed place and find your own way. It's your decision. And driver, you're free now. You can do what you want from here. But if you'll allow an old woman one last hope, stay here with Francis. There's so many more stories for the zone to tell. And the both of you are young enough to listen. My ears are bad. And I refuse to hear them. I've removed all access restrictions to my systems, Francis. The helm is yours.
Wait, I don't know if I can do this alone.
You're not alone. You've got clear eyes, ears open to the impossible, and the driver. Dr. Cook, driver. It's been a pleasure. This is Dr. Ophelia Turner. Signing off.
Oppie? Oppie! Really? Well, driver, if you don't mind sticking around with me, Oppie was right. There's still so much of the zone that we still don't know about. But with your help, we can tell those stories. I'm no Oppie, but I'll do the best I can. You're no longer bound to the car, but it's stayed with you and will continue to protect you as you travel the zone. Go on then. As long as you're willing to drive, I'm along for the ride.
Interesting ending. I can see why people said it was lackluster. I actually think it's fine. I do kind of wish there was an option of... Well, I mean, I actually would be totally fine with it if our character, like, ended up on the other side of the wall, like, outside the peninsula and willingly came back. As just a, like, no, actually liked life better being this wild driver person. I think the other thing I would say is I really wish they kept Francis around for the DLC. You know, now having done the DLC and then continuing on to do the end of the story, I almost actually feel like the DLC really is chronologically placed after, and maybe I should have thought of that. I just figured the ending would be a little bit more conclusive than that. On the flip side, I do actually like the open-ended approach. Nothing was really solved. I wish the well had been more interesting. Like, you get to the other side and it really is just this alien something place. This twisted facsimile of reality. Where, like, it could have even been an interesting thing. You go through the well and it's almost like this warped pseudo-zone. And it's Tobias and Alan talking to you. Just for, like, one mission. And it's kind of closure, but they're trying to get you out. And they're explaining kind of what life is like for them, or not life. And, you know, maybe you can see things like you look up into the sky, and instead of stars, it's other stuff. Like you can see a space squid go by. And it's one of those where it's like a pocket of reality that they've managed to build for you temporarily. So you can get out before you become like them, you know, just pure consciousness in the void. Again, I don't know, that's a headcanon that could have been kind of cool, if only because otherwise the ending that we saw was mostly just a, like, here's a couple flashes from the past, but there's no explanation as to what the well was, where those hallucinations came from, or any of that jazz. And I get it, it's all science magic, you can't really deliver deep on that, but I'm one of those people that whenever I see, like, an SCP game, or Eldritch Horror, or any of that jazz, I want the deep explanations as to, like, the what and the why. Even if it, like, gets waved away as, like, oh, it's an alien intelligence or something like that. Or, in this case, you know, it's, like, well, I have no idea what the background explanation for any of these things were. Because I wasn't given that information, and some part of me wishes that they'd peeled back the curtain a little bit more. Or that they would continue on and peel the curtain back further later. I don't know, hard to say. But to go back to the thing about Francis and the DLC, I actually really like the idea of the driver sticking around just doing missions in the area. I actually feel like the Olympic Exclusion Zone is a really good setting to place a bunch of stories and games. And so I'd mentioned wishing that the DLC was actually like a standalone expansion sequel, and I stand by that. I actually really wish that we just had a series of Pacific Drive games, all in the same engine, same mechanics, and if you have a pre-existing save file, you just carry it over. Maybe not. Hard to say. It's one of those where it almost feels like such a shame to have the DLC siloed away as just a DLC when it could have been developed as kind of like an actual sequel in some way, using everything that you already have in the main game, or resetting all of your stuff back and, you know, just kind of gives you a quick recap or something like that. But the DLC, I wish I had had a Francis to remark on things, even to the point where Francis is like talking about knowing about the cult and like bringing on some other people in the area who've, rather than those like audio files that you'd find on the radio towers that would talk about like the founding and infiltrating and investigating. I really wish those people had actually been present, or that Francis was like finding those things, dredging up information, remarking on it, and then eventually being like, hey, we need to stop this because this is going to go very bad, as opposed to the driver just silently doing so. Maybe, I don't know. It's one of those where it's like Pacific Drive is 90% incredible, but the last 10% is a little floundery, and I think would have taken more development, which I understand why they didn't do that. That you know, would have taken a lot of time and effort to make a really, really special final mission, but I think it would have made it feel better. Having more like dialogue and character moments would have taken more development time, required more space to kind of fill those, and so on and so forth. But the actual like moment to moment, the gameplay, the car customization, the driving mechanics, like I do not like driving in video games. I find it to be extremely boring. This game made it fun. I actually cared about whether or not I was crashing my car. And like you can even see over the course of my playthrough how much I gained in boldness and confidence in my ability to traverse Pacific Drive, to the point where eventually I was just driving down cliffs because I knew I'd survive and not even take that much damage from it. I'm really curious. Somebody's probably done a playthrough of this with only the most basic gear, and God, that's got to be rough. I think it actually would be quite doable. I think you just need a lot of repair putty. Anywho, I enjoyed this. I hope they keep developing it. I kind of hope at this point they make a Pacific Drive 2 rather than too much more DLC, even though the DLC is good and this is a good platform for it. Just because well, I don't know. Like, the weird part is I would totally accept a Pacific Drive 2, that same engine, same mechanics, I load back in and here's my car, but there's even like higher tiers of parts and whatnot. Maybe. Maybe, I don't know. The other thing I'd actually say is I kind of wish this was an FMV game. Like, I actually wish talking to these characters, they had just the voice actors dressed up. You know, in Control, where you had the one scientist guy who was kind of like, you keep running into videos of him talking into a camera. I actually wish this was that. I think this would have been a really cool game to have FMV, not cutscenes, just like, you know, you'd have like the little video file on the side. I guess on the flip side, it would be really hard to drive with that going on, so maybe not. Maybe like 1 or 2 FMV moments would have been neat. But anyway, I guess with all of this said, I had a lot of fun with this. I cannot wait to play more. I hope they make another or something else in the setting. We don't have enough cool SCP games, and it feels like this has a massive amount of potential. Wasn't it just raining? I have no idea. It is a massive amount of potential that is yet untapped. We do also have the expeditions mode, which I haven't poked at. I'm not terribly interested in them unless they like introduce more stuff for me to play around with. But I think it's mostly just more parts and can you get to the end? Yeah, rewards, Limpulse emitter, crude flashlight, anchor. Yeah, it's all decorations and other things. See, if it was like lead-plated bumper, but it had like a special modifier on top of it, then I would be very interested in those. But anyway, I guess with all this said, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Now I'm going to go record the first episode of this game because I've recorded everything else except for that. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. I can't wait to do this again, and I'm definitely going to be doing more series. I probably am going to have at least a couple more pre-recorded before this even goes out. So I guess look forward to the next one. Thank you all so much for watching. See you next time.